Hey everybody, and welcome to another magazine flip through of Wargames Illustrated. This is Wargames Illustrated 443, November 2024. They're calling this one the Gladiator issue, which is kind of perfect because Gladiator 2 is, well, currently in cinemas here in Malaysia. Also, you get a free complete set of Pike and Shot rules. This is the Nevermind the Matchlocks rule set, which actually is free. So you get a free rule book with the magazine. That's a great deal. I always think that's a great deal. Now let's look inside very quickly. Here we have the editorial, and the editorial tells you that you do not need to own Nevermind bill hooks to play or use Nevermind the Matchlock because it's a complete set of rules. Now, what we're going to do at the end of the book is we're going to end of this flip through is we're going to flip through. Never mind the matchlocks. So stay till the end of the flip through for that. The cover art is done by Neil Roberts. It's called Gladiator versus Gladiator. All right, so let's move inside. Looking inside, we see it's Christmas. By the time this review goes out, flip through goes out, it's probably Christmas time. Uh, and if you are in the mood to get some rule books, hey, why not have a look at Wargames Illustrated? They've got some rule books for you. Moving along, we got Flags of War, and these are Border Wars miniatures. Now, the good thing about a magazine like this is we look at all these different miniatures, and if it wasn't for magazines like this, I wouldn't have noticed this miniature right here. This is, I guess, inspired by Blackadder, um, which is if you haven't watched Blackadder, well, let me just say that you're missing out.
Yo. Bend over, Blackadder!
Anyways, yeah, so it's Flags of War. They've got some miniatures out, very nice looking miniatures as well. Moving along, we have Mad Dogs, Mughalls, and Marathas, and yeah, this is another rulebook. But let me just very quickly look at the pages. Pages look really nice. There you go. It's basically the war in India. That's what it is. Moving along, we got North Star. North Star is one of the bigger players in the miniature world when it comes to historical miniatures. And here we got the Musket and Tomahawk Germans, which they don't look that bad. They look pretty good actually. Yeah, they look really nice. Like I said, this is a period I do not play, but you never know, man. With the historicals, you never know. Moving along, an advert from Warlord Games. So thanks for paying some of the bills for to get this magazine out. And then the new book that's coming out, that's out by now actually. Hail Caesar Once and Future King. And also their I want to say this is the mainstream entry into bolt action. The bolt action introductory set. So there you go. That's Warlord Games paying some bills right there. Moving along, we have rule set and miniatures from Wessex Games. Now all of these are actually STLs or 3D prints, and these are supposed to be the German dwarves and the English orcs. Steady, steady. Anyways, this is basically fantasy football, and I want to say this is supposed to be the what was it? It was this historical battle over No Man's Land. Yeah, that is. I said No Man's Land played between actual. Yeah, so this is the No Man's Land football game, but played with fantasy miniatures. I'm a big fan of sports tabletop games, so I might just give this a go. Maybe see whether I can do a flip of that as well. But it looks like it's more traditional football instead of like a gill ball, which is actually gill ball is a bit more soccer as well, or football. And I think what was the other one? The one from Mantic Games, Dreadball. Dreadball is more basketball, and Blood Bowl. Blood Bowl is more American football. So these are the few that I ever actually know of and played. And moving along, we've got board buildings, and this is from war bases. Some buildings. Oh, the buildings look really nice. Yeah, and these are from Patrick's Miniatures, and these are from Buggles Kelly Station. Anyways, moving along, we have a small scale. Over here, we got miniatures from these are Carthaginians from the Plastic Soldier Company. Now, ever since Warlord Games released the Epic rule set for air battles, we see a lot more miniature companies following suit, offering the alternatives to the sculpts that Warlord has given. And this is one of the companies, the Plastic Soldier Company. And then there's this other company. Well, not other. They're quite big now. Wargames Atlantic, and they've just released their samurai Ashigaru figures, which are also about the same scale. So I think this sort of gaming might be the future. We never know. We will see what happens. Moving along, we have miniatures from Battle Orders, and then yeah, let's have a look very very quick. A close up. Yeah, they look good. Look very, very good. Very nice detail. But again, the proof is in the pudding. So once we get them in our hands, then we can see how good they really, really are. And then we got some fantasy stuff. Oh, we got miniatures from 1898 miniatures.com. And this, what are these? These are, hmm, I think they're for Saga maybe. Da, 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 da. Oh, yeah, Visigoths. Oh, okay, Visigoths. Okay. Moving along, there's the fantasy from Archon Studio. Archon Studio is also one of those companies which is really, really doing really, really well, and they got these new kits coming out all the time. This one is the Mimic Dragon and yeah, it's the Mimic Dragon and Dragon Turtle and Mimic Dragon. Yeah, not the usual dragons that you get that people know of. So kudos for coming out with dragons. Actually, the Arco Studio range of dragons is actually quite huge, quite extensive. If you're a fan of dragons, hitting out over to Archon is a good idea. And then we got a mole from Footsore Miniatures. And this, if you watch the last flip through that I did, was the folks debauchery stuff. Here's just the extension of that as well. Very very nice. Very characterful. Moving along, we have North Star and their new book, The Silver Bayonet Italy, The Shades of Calabria. And then Quickfire. Now, Quickfire is basically, readers sending in the articles and stuff like that. So we got some, yeah, like 3 pages worth of articles. And then what seems to be a very um, usual thing now, Deep Cut Studios have actually kept on their payment for advertising in the magazine. Okay, moving along. First article is Go for the Jugular. This is basically Studio Tomahawk's Jugular. Now take a look at the Coliseum, man. They look really really good. Now I'm not really a big fan of gladiatorial miniature games for some reason. So I think I don't know. So this is like a neutral article for me, but man, look at the terrain. Look at the set they play miniatures with. Anyways, this is an interview with the makers, I guess, with the makers of Studio Tomahawk's Jugular. Okay, very cool. Another page, like, all these like different. Now I do know that there are different kinds of gladiators with different kinds of equipment. So I guess this rulebook will actually break it down some more. And moving along, again, this one is from Osprey Games. Strange that you got two, but never mind. Two advertisements for the same book, but Osprey Games talks about Silver Italy, Shades of Calabria. Moving along, advert for Late World Leviathans, Films of War, and then we got First Core. This time in their advert, you got a new set of miniatures. It says here Scythians, Greeks, and Archimedean, Archimed, Archimedes Persians. Firstcore.co.uk. All right, thank you. Moving along. Wow, now check this out. This is Cohorts Cthulhu Tactics. Um, I didn't ever think that there would be a mashup of Cthulhu, the Cthulhu mythos, and the Roman legions. So this is this is interesting to me for sure. I mean, look at that. You got some yeah, interesting sculpts, interesting minis. I mean, Yeah, if you want a mashup, here you go. This is the mashup. Not to end all mashups, but definitely interesting. You got look at different. I think all these are 28. Oh, little like mutations and stuff like that. Very very nice. Ooh. What's really nice, of course, is they give you the colors they use, and these are from Army Painter, which is great. It's tips in case you want to get into this range and you want to paint them, or you're painting any other decaying or mutating force for any other game. But this one, I like this one. This is the interdimensional devil dogs, and look at this, look at this, look at this. Check this. It's a half a dog coming through a portal. That's a great idea, man. That's a really really cool idea. For that alone, this worth it. Anyways, moving along, we got Edwards from Artmaster Studio and Helion and Company. Thanks for paying for advertising space. Moving along, semi-historical celebrity deathmatch. Now, apparently, this was done. This was one of the games that the team at Wargames Illustrated did at Salute 2017. And what it basically is basically, I think a lot of the figures are from their Legends, Giant, like Giants of Legends, or their miniature range. They got a miniature range called, I can't remember the range offhand. Yeah, but they have a miniature range, and these are the miniatures from it. So it's kind of neat that they I mean all the miniatures in that range is basically all this like I want to call it recognize yeah I'll call it recognizable figures, and maybe something from movies and stuff like that, which I think is great because it's it's usually for deco's sake, but it's kind of cool that they've done a participation game for it. I mean, we got Lord Flashheart right here.
Where haven't I been? Woof!
I mean, if you want to play with Flashheart, I guess using Celebrity Deathmatch would be the way to go. Anyways, moving along. Quacks and Warhawks. Now this is more content for here. Never mind the Bellhawks. Here's the Rockers, and as they move along with um, the rulebook, and they keep adding on, you can bet your last coin that all of this is going to be in future books and so on and so forth. It's pretty much the old way GW used to do it, in White Dwarf, and I think this works because you see you let folks who already have the rule set play it, and in many ways you get feedback as well, but it's also a trial run before you print. It's a damn good idea. Moving along, this is part three, Public Enemies, part three. Now this is the Vinay's that the article is doing. They do Vinay's and tell a story from it. Another way to appreciate miniatures. And this is part three. So the last three issues had it. So if you want to collect all three, yeah, just the past three issues. So it'll be 443, 442, 441, and you get all of these in one go. All of this, nice Vinay's. I mean, they sent it around like all this crime. I mean, 1920 crime thingies. Yeah, infamous crime scenes, I guess, around the 1920s and stuff like that. So that's kind of cool. Moving along, we got what's that? Skippy, Elephant Fall Down the Well, and this is Rick Priestley talking about Scipio. Now, for some of you who are not so sure what Scipio is the game that you'd get in the Hannibal set, the Hannibal battle set. So there's basically two games in one set, and this is basically the thoughts of the designer behind it, behind Scipio the game. You can actually use the figures from the set to play, and as you can see, John's there as well, all giving Scipio a go. This is the consider this tabletop with miniatures. Sorry, a board game with miniatures. So, and it's kind of cool because as you can see, if you play them with just unpainted figures, they don't look so bad. They look pretty good actually. All right, moving along, we got Beware Small. So beware small Greeks bearing gifts. Whew. How tiny Trojans changed my life. Now these are 6 mm figures. If you didn't know, we actually featured some backers 6 mm before this. They look really really nice on mass, but looking close, they don't look so great. But here, in this article, it talks about 6mm gaming, and I think these are Trojans. Yeah, it tells it's basically well, gives you a rundown of if you're interested in moving to 6mm. It's not a bad scale, to be honest. In fact, if you were to uh, play 6mm, your painting would not need to be so good. I mean, you're probably dotting at that point. And it's moving along. Vehicles of Vietnam, and this is part three. This is a three-parter, so that means in the last three magazines, you'd get articles for vehicles of Vietnam. But 442, Wargames Illustrated did not have the article, so you have to get, let me see now, 441, 440. So 440, 441, and 443 will get you the full, complete coverage of the vehicles of Vietnam. And in this one, they're talking about the, let me see now, the brown water, um, naval um, figures and stuff like that, and vehicles and boats. Very nice article, very nicely researched. The whole Vietnam article over three issues have been very good to read. Um, if at all they decide to like put them together in a pull out or a special that they want to like give away maybe in a few years. I mean, why not? Why not? One of these articles, nice and thick, well done articles. Anyways, moving along. Small minis, small time investment, big results. Now, keeping to the theme of 10 mm, 12 mm, 3.5 mm, 15 mm. Here, more miniatures um, at that scale. Now, these miniatures are from Wargames Atlantic. They've just launched their um, what did they call them? Grand Battle Scale miniatures, and the 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 they have their own rule set. Now, in the last flip through, I talked about no daichi, no dice. They're using that to play this. You can, but as you can see from the figures, they look pretty good, very nice. But this article shows you how to get them on the table really quick. The big problem with small scale miniatures is the fact that it takes a long time to paint. But you want a painting method that's quick and fast. And here's just one of the recommendations to do it. So yeah, moving along, designing the denizens. Now, this is part two of the part one article from the last issue, and this is basically talking about the designing of a city, which was inspired from, according to the writer, from his experience with fighting fantasy, which got me very interested in the article. So he's building the city ground up, and now filling the city with his denizens, which is really cool. And that's pretty much the article. And then advertisements, Wings of War gets, you know, helps with advertising. North Star gets another bit for victory. As an advert, Mardev miniatures, Bricks Creek, Colonel Bills, Gunfighters Ball, all um, Heinz miniatures, Skytrax. Um, let me see now. They're called Giants in miniatures. You know, the one I was talking about earlier. Giants in miniatures. The celebrity deathmatch, that one. Anyways, all these I'd like to thank for helping pay the advertising, because without them paying the advertising, there wouldn't be a physical magazine. Magazines cost money to make, Anyways, moving along, we see the advert for the next issue, and the next issue is free winter Fallschirm Jaeger frame, which I'm looking forward to get and paint up. And then the let me see now. This is the next follow up miniature range from Wargames Atlantic. Uh, follow up from the Samurai range, and this is Azincourt. So it's coming in 2024. Yeah, so it should be out by now. And finally, Gripping Peace, as always, helping with the back cover. Um, and then in this one, it's basically Jugular, which is basically article inside. So yes, that is Wargames Illustrated issue 443. Right, so with that magazine, you get Nevermind the Matchlocks. And what is this? This is a Wargaming Smaller Battles in the English Civil War, and the whereabouts, it says. So it's a free rule set. So let's just do a very quick flip through. Introduction, contents, and then the rules. This is It's played with six-sided dice. Um, I think yes, yeah, six-sided dice, and I think it's more fitting for 28 mm. I actually have 28 mm English Civil War from the Warlord games range. But I'll need to double check and see what it will take to play this rule set. I mean, it's free. Why not just give it a go, give it a swing? Anyway, so as you can see, it's very text heavy, and the game, if you didn't know, works with card decks, um, movement, everything's pretty much covered in. Unlike the other free booklet that we got in last issue, um, this one's slightly thicker because it's a whole rule book. But yeah, it's simple enough design, enough pictures to keep you interested, um, and some cards that you can either scan, you know, to play with, which is great. Yeah, I recommend scanning, cutting, doing a little bit of hobbying. Oh, you can actually download the cards from nevermindthebillhooks.com. There you go. And quick reference sheet. That is Nevermind the Matchlocks, which you can play on its own. And that comes free with Wargames Illustrated 443. Now I like doing this Wargame Illustrated flip throughs. I'm trying to see whether I can get some miniature war games to preview as well. Also different war games magazines that are out there. I know there are more than a few. Do let me know in the comments if there are any ones you think I should have a look at. I'm a big fan of these wargaming magazines simply because I think these don't go out of style. The range may go out of production, but a lot of the miniatures, you can actually draw inspiration from a lot of tables. You can draw inspiration from, and most of the articles, they can replay. So, which is why I like doing flip throughs like this. Anyways, if you like flip throughs like this, give me some encouragement with a like, subscribe, and reading is one thing, but painting is another. So don't forget to enjoy painting those figures.